Blessings to everybody. You see, with me, everything I say is brief and short and heartfelt. You know, this is not a blame game. We are not blaming DJs, we are not blaming artists, we are not blaming consumers. It's a step in the right direction for us all and our music and our culture. So play Ghana. Blessings.
In 2023, Ghana's music charts were dominated by Nigerian hits. Songs like Asake's Lonely at the Top and Ruger's Asiwaju topped the most streamed lists, while Nigerian Afrobeats ruled the airwaves and streaming platforms. Despite a few breakout Ghanaian stars like Black Sheriff and King Promise, local talent seemed overshadowed by the ever-growing influence of Nigerian music. It was a reality that irked many within Ghana's music industry, and something had to change. Cue the introduction of the Play Ghana policy, a bold initiative designed to promote local content on Ghanaian radio stations and streaming platforms. The goal was simple: make Ghanaian music more accessible and ensure that local artists receive the recognition they deserve. However, while the policy has been wildly successful within Ghana, there's a growing concern that it may have unintended consequences on Ghana's global musical footprint, particularly in Nigeria. Could the rise of local content in Ghana inadvertently harm its position in the global music landscape, similar to the decline seen in the Ghanaian movie industry? Let's dive deeper into this complex issue. According to MyJoy Online and Pulse Nigeria, before the introduction of the Play Ghana policy, 2023 was a year dominated by Nigerian music in Ghana. The top 10 most streamed songs were littered with Nigerian hits, with Asake, Ruger, Omale, and Burna Boy ruling the charts. Nigerian Afrobeats had a firm grip on the Ghanaian market, as the genre's catchy beats and irresistible rhythms captured listeners. Even though Black Sherif's Kwaku the Traveler made a significant impact, local artists were largely overshadowed by Nigerian stars. This dominance wasn't unique to Ghana. Nigerian artists were leading the global Afrobeats movement, with their songs crossing borders and becoming anthems far beyond West Africa. The widespread popularity of Nigerian music was partly due to its sheer volume of export. Nigerian songs were being played in every corner of Africa, including Ghana, Kenya, and even Europe and the United States. However, there was growing frustration in Ghana that local talent wasn't receiving the same level of airplay in their home country. The Play Ghana policy emerged in response to this, aiming to balance the scales and ensure that Ghanaian artists had a fair shot at reaching their audiences. In 2024, we saw the results of this bold policy. The most streamed songs in Ghana were overwhelmingly by local artists. Black Sherif's Konongo Zongo, King Promise's Terminator, and Stonebwoy's Into the Future all climbed to the top of the charts. The presence of Nigerian music, while still popular, had been significantly reduced. Artists like Burna Boy and Asake no longer dominated the charts as they had in 2023. The Play Ghana policy had worked. Ghanaian music is thriving within its own borders, and local artists are finally getting the exposure they deserved. For many, this is a victory, a reclamation of Ghana's cultural identity and musical heritage. Ghanaians are proud to see their own stars leading the charge. However, while Ghanaian music was flourishing domestically, there are early signs of a potential problem brewing abroad, particularly in Nigeria, a country that had previously embraced Ghanaian music with open arms. Here's the crux of the issue. By promoting local content so aggressively in Ghana, there's a risk of alienating international audiences, particularly in Nigeria, one of the biggest markets for Ghanaian music. In 2023, songs like Black Sherif's Kwaku the Traveler were major hits in Nigeria, gaining significant airplay and streaming numbers. Nigerian audiences were familiar with Ghanaian artists, and there was a sense of cultural exchange between the two nations. However, with the rise of the Play Ghana policy, Ghanaian music is seeing less reciprocal support in Nigeria. As the policy pushes Nigerian songs lower down Ghana's charts, there is growing concern that Nigerian audiences may also lose interest in Ghanaian music. This could result in fewer collaborations, less airplay, and a reduced presence of Ghanaian music in one of its biggest neighboring markets. It's a troubling parallel to what happened to the Ghanaian movie industry. In the early 2000s, Ghanaian films enjoyed widespread popularity throughout West Africa. However, as Nigeria's Nollywood expanded and Ghana shifted its focus to local content, implementing policies that indirectly limited Nollywood's presence in the country, Ghana's film industry gradually lost its regional influence. With fewer cross-border collaborations and less international exposure, Ghanaian films saw a decline in visibility, even within their own borders. The same risk now looms over the Ghanaian music industry. If Ghanaian songs lose their foothold in Nigeria, it could significantly harm their global exposure. Nigeria is a massive market, and for Ghanaian artists to thrive on the international stage, they need the support of their West African neighbors. One of the key strengths of Nigerian artists is their ability to collaborate with musicians from all over Africa. Burna Boy, Davido, and Wizkid have all worked with artists from Ghana, South Africa, and beyond, helping to spread their influence across the continent. Ghanaian artists, too, have benefited from such collaborations. For instance, Black Sheriff's collaboration with Burna Boy on Second Sermon Remix was a major hit in both Ghana and Nigeria, boosting his visibility in the Nigerian market. By focusing too narrowly on promoting local content, Ghana risks losing these valuable cross-border collaborations. Nigerian artists may be less inclined to work with their Ghanaian counterparts if their music is being pushed out of the Ghanaian market. This would limit the reach of Ghanaian artists, who rely heavily on international markets to build their fan bases and sustain long-term success. In essence, while the Play Ghana policy boosts local visibility, it may inadvertently shut the door on the collaborative opportunities that have allowed Ghanaian music to flourish on the global stage. The success of the Play Ghana policy highlights the need for a delicate balance. On the one hand, it's essential for Ghanaian artists to receive the recognition and support they deserve in their home country. The local market should be a strong foundation for any artist's career. However, focusing too heavily on local content at the expense of international exposure could harm Ghana's global standing in the long run. The data from 2024 shows that Ghanaian music is doing better than ever domestically, but the question remains: can this success be sustained without the support of international audiences, particularly in Nigeria? To avoid the pitfalls that befell the Ghanaian movie industry, the music scene needs to find a way to keep Nigerian listeners engaged. This might involve fostering more collaborations with Nigerian artists, or finding ways to balance the Play Ghana policy with a continued appreciation for Nigerian hits. After all, good music knows no borders, and the best way to grow the Ghanaian music industry is by ensuring that it remains a player on the global stage. The Play Ghana policy has undoubtedly been a game changer for local artists. It has given Ghanaian musicians the platform they need to thrive, and 2024 is proof that the policy can work. However, as we've seen, this success may come at a cost if it leads to reduced international exposure, particularly in Nigeria. To secure the future of Ghanaian music, there must be a balance. The local market is important, but so is the global one. Ghanaian artists need to continue collaborating with their Nigerian counterparts and finding ways to keep their music relevant beyond their borders. In the end, the goal isn't just to dominate the charts in Ghana, it's to ensure that Ghanaian music continues to rise and shine on the world stage. By keeping that balance in mind, the Play Ghana policy can help local artists thrive at home and abroad without falling into the same trap that hindered the Ghanaian film industry. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Join the conversation in the comments. Do you think the Play Ghana initiative will be a setback for Ghanaian artists on the global stage? We'd love to hear your thoughts.